Right, the news is breaking. Arsenal have bid £70 million plus £5 million in add-ons. Progress has been made in verbal agreement north of 75 million between Arsenal and Newcastle for Bruno Guimaraes. The deal is on, is what the breaking news is saying. I think there's a variety of people talking about this and of course breaking it. Ben Jacobs got the story from Alex Cook.
Of the breaking news. One place to start, we've got an article online, and that is Bruno Guimaraes, and talks are currently advancing between Arsenal and Newcastle United. Now, Newcastle continue to insist that there's nothing formal. There may be some semantics at play, but our understanding, myself and Chief Football Correspondent Alex Crook, is that talks are now advancing and a deal could be approaching or even in excess of £80 million. Arsenal's last valuation, widely reported at 70 million, is not going to get a done deal, but talks are continuing. And Bruno Guimaraes, ever professional, he posted a photograph of him fishing in a Newcastle United hat. The expectation is that if an agreement isn't reached this week, then ultimately Bruno Guimaraes will return to pre-season training and be a model professional. So I don't think we can call this a repeat of the Alexander Isak situation, but Arsenal serious about Bruno Guimaraes, and they have made some progress. So keep an eye if we get anything more definitive in the coming days, because from Arsenal's perspective, they would like to get this deal done sooner rather than later, because the longer it drags on, the less confidence, of course, they will have. But also, they don't want any surprises of other suitors looking for a midfielder and entering this race. Now, Vini Jr. is a player of interest to Arsenal, and yet Real Madrid are currently in talks to try and extend his deal as well. And my sense is it's one extreme or the other, and there's leverage on all sides. Jose Mourinho can turn to Vini Jr. and say Yan Diomande is arriving. He's capable of playing on the left, and Kylian Mbappe as well. So Vini either signs or maybe is forced down the pecking order, with a sense even that Real Madrid could actively seek a sale if he's not prepared to extend his terms. And yet from Arsenal's perspective, they know other players are arriving. Jose Mourinho may have a new perspective, and that contract is running down. So Arsenal are prepared to bid, but once again, Real are still hoping that they can end all of this and get Vini Jr. to sign a new deal. Now, moving on to Chelsea, two very interesting potential signings. One is Danny Welbeck, personal terms broadly agreed, and the expectation now is those club-to-club talks advance as well. Brighton will not unduly stand in Danny Welbeck's way, providing their valuation is met, because they realise it might be one more big opportunity given his age in his career. And again, his contract is winding down. It's the same for Jordan Henderson as well. Brentford are prepared to let the England midfielder leave on a free transfer, even though he still has a year left on his contract. And Chelsea are really serious about Jordan Henderson, and they are hoping that they can win a race that's been incredibly competitive, because there's other clubs, including from the Premier League, that also realise that they can get Jordan Henderson for nothing because of Brentford's position. Now, Chelsea have started talks there on the player side. It's not quite as advanced yet as Danny Welbeck, but both of these deals could move very quickly, because there shouldn't be that much club-to-club negotiation necessary. It will all come down to the player choice. And from Chelsea's point of view, outgoings are going to be important as well. And Philip Jorgensen has left Chelsea's tour, currently in Australia. They'll go on to Asia as well to finalise a transfer. Coventry City had made an inquiry. Of course, they love Carl Rushworth, but it's Chelsea's sister club, Strasbourg, that are seen as the leading contender. And Jorgensen now has to agree terms and also the formula of a deal. It could be a loan, but Chelsea are also prepared to sanction a permanent exit as well. Leeds United are really ambitious at the moment, and they're closing in on a club record deal for James Trafford, £40 million plus add-ons. This was a story we revealed last week on TalkSport, that the deal was expected to happen, and now there's basically an agreement in principle in place. Finalisation and formalisation are likely to happen this week, and it's a real coup for Leeds United. It's not fair to say that Newcastle United were in the race only earlier in the summer when Man City inquired over Sandro Tonali, and Newcastle United countered by asking about what was then a long-standing target in James Trafford, but nothing since. And Trafford is sold on a move to Leeds United, and it should allow Lucas Perry to depart on loan to Torino with a buy option. And Leeds are waiting at the time of recording on an answer from Julian Brandt. His father visited Leeds' training centre about 10 days ago, and Leeds made a strong pitch. But there are other suitors, including Champions League clubs, involved in the race as well. But Leeds have pulled off some fantastic business, so maybe they can still get that deal over the line. And there was some cautious optimism from Leeds United sources that I've spoken to in the last 24 or 48 hours.